Just fragmented data points on a screen. Doctors sigh, it helps us find what lies between. 'Cause every single node connects, revealing hidden architects. And with AI, the truth's in sight. The truth's in sight.
Welcome to EInvestigations. Today, we're diving into two powerful topics that are transforming how we fight crime and solve complex legal cases: link analysis and text mining. Think of this as learning how to find a story hidden in a mountain of digital data. Here is our roadmap for the lesson. We will cover link analysis first and then move on to text mining. To make it simple, link analysis is like being a detective, connecting all the dots to see the full network of relationships. Text mining is like having a digital shovel that digs through heaps of text data, emails, documents, to pull out the golden insights. We'll start with the fundamentals and then explore real-world applications and fascinating case studies. By the time we wrap up this topic, your main takeaway will be this: you should be able to clearly explain link analysis and text analytics, and crucially, understand exactly how they are used in both eDiscovery and forensic investigations. Picture this: you'll learn how to trace a complex financial fraud through link analysis or extract key themes from thousands of emails using text analytics. If you master this topic, you'll be ready to use these two key terms correctly in all your assignments and exams: link analysis and text analytics. Let's define them quickly. Link analysis is a technique to evaluate relationships between objects. We call them nodes. Text analytics is the process of turning messy, unstructured text into useful insights. These are your buzzwords for success today. Let's clarify a huge distinction in eInvestigations: eDiscovery versus digital forensics. Think of eDiscovery as being centered on using data you can easily get, like files requested from employees, and how you process it after you collect it. Digital forensics, on the other hand, is the deep dive. It focuses on hard-to-obtain, hidden, or even deleted data. This includes recovering deleted files or finding data hidden in images. In a nutshell, eDiscovery works with the available evidence, while forensics works to uncover the hidden evidence. The bottom line for investigators is tackling the huge challenge of finding that crucial piece of evidence by following the clues. Imagine a massive data haystack. eDiscovery and digital forensics are our powerful solutions to collect and gather that body of potential evidence. eDiscovery tools specifically act as powerful magnets to pull out the needles, the relevant documents, from that massive data haystack. Now, we are going to dive deep into link analysis. While this slide is simple, the concept is massive. In real-world criminal investigations, link analysis is what investigators use to literally map out the relationships between suspects, places, and events. If you're familiar with penetration testing tools, you might have heard of Maltego, which is a powerful example of a link analysis tool in action within Kali Linux. Let's focus back on eDiscovery. This is the formal process of collecting evidence from digital sources. Think massive archives of emails and files to support one party during a legal case. Historically, identifying and reviewing these documents has been a manual, costly task performed by highly trained professionals like lawyers or accountants. eDiscovery is crucial during corporate lawsuits to retrieve crucial documents that serve as evidence. Here is where traditional methods break down. When you have 1 million emails, manually reviewing every document is impossible. You try to use indexing and keyword searches, but the results are limited because researchers often don't know the exact keywords they need beforehand. The data from the Trek Legal Track, which tested this on the Enron dataset, showed that keyword searches only found between 22% to 57% of the truly relevant documents. That huge miss rate tells us we need a better system. This brings us to the game changer: artificial intelligence. AI can partially automate the document review process. The core idea is that we use machine learning algorithms to predict a document's relevance by analyzing its text and network features. In the eDiscovery world, this is known as computer-assisted review, or more commonly, predictive coding. It's like training a smart assistant to find the most important documents for you. For a long time, there was legal uncertainty about whether sophisticated algorithms like predictive coding would be allowed in court. But since 2012, US courts have affirmatively ruled on the use of these techniques, making them mainstream. While a lot has been written about the legal aspects of computer-assisted review, we in this course are going to focus on the technical side. How do we generate the features, and how does the AI actually predict relevance? This is where the real technical challenge lies. Switching gears, let's look at the second major topic, text analytics, which is also known as text mining. This is the process of deriving meaningful content from unstructured free text. Think massive quantities of emails or documents. Instead of using structured database content, we extract patterns from natural language. This lets us pull out valuable data like names, email addresses, and IP addresses, and even perform complex tasks like categorization and sentiment analysis. Text analytics is a powerful combination of linguistic, statistical, and machine learning techniques designed to model and structure the information inside text. It can even help unearth hidden metadata about documents. By automatically analyzing text, we can gain an overview of a huge collection of documents, find hidden structures between groups of documents, and dramatically increase the efficiency of any search process. Think of it as giving us a bird's-eye view of all our text data. It's crucial to understand the relationship between our two topics. Text analytics is the foundation for link analysis. Text analytics helps us clean, categorize, and extract entities. And those extracted entities and connections can then be fed into a link analysis tool. Together, they are now considered absolutely essential in the identification, discovery, and analysis phases of modern e-investigations. Back to link analysis. This tool is all about visualizing and exploring networks of associations that scream out for more investigation. Along with text mining, link analysis is often the first level of most investigations. It helps extract those networks and group unstructured content to generate new leads and shift the focus of an investigation. For example, in a major financial fraud case, link analysis could graphically map out the entire flow of illicit funds. We talked about keyword searching earlier, but let's look at the underlying technology. Information retrieval, or IR. IR is a research field focused on finding information resources that are relevant to a specific need. The most familiar example of an IR system? Your everyday web search engine, like Google. In eDiscovery, this means efficiently searching for terms like fraud or embezzlement within a massive dataset. How do search engines, and by extension, eDiscovery tools, find and retrieve information? First, they crawl. Crawling is the discovery process where automated programs, often called spiders or crawlers, find new content like web pages or PDFs by following links. Second, they index the content, storing it in a massive database. Finally, when you enter a query, the search engine scours its index to match your query to relevant content. This is the backbone of keyword searching. When we talk about the success of a search, we use three key metrics. First, precision. What fraction of the documents we found were actually relevant? Second, recall. What fraction of all the relevant documents out there did we manage to find? To combine these two, we use the F1 measure, which is the harmonic mean of precision and recall. For example, if you search for financial fraud and get 10 results, but only 4 are relevant, your precision is 40%. Here is a crucial distinction between a general web search and eDiscovery. When you search the web, you just need that first relevant hit. You prioritize precision. But in an eDiscovery investigation, the researcher is interested in all relevant documents. Why? Because missing a single crucial document in a legal case could be detrimental. Therefore, in eDiscovery, recall is much more important than precision. We are willing to sacrifice some precision, meaning we accept classifying some irrelevant documents as relevant, as long as we don't leave out any truly relevant documents. Let's return to the mathematical foundation of link analysis. It's based on a branch of mathematics called graph theory. A graph consists of two things: nodes, which are the objects, and edges, which are the relationships connecting those objects. As investigators, we use this for two key roles. First, the visualization of relationships, and second, the discovery of different types of associations between nodes. For instance, in social media, nodes are people, and edges are their interactions or friendships. This slide illustrates a directed graph. This means the relationship flows in one direction. The World Wide Web is a great example. The nodes are web pages, and the edges, the links between them, are directed. The same idea applies to email and social media interactions, where the nodes are people and the edges are the communications between them. Think of following someone on Twitter. It's a directed relationship, because I follow you, but you don't necessarily follow me back. How do we actually build these network maps? We rely heavily on metadata. eDiscovery tools like Nuix and Relativity have specialized features that analyze email headers to extract the from, to, subject, and date. Using this header information, they can automatically build a map of communications, a network map between people. Remember, metadata is incredibly crucial because it reveals the when, where, and how of digital communications in an investigation. Now for a big caution. Link analysis works great, but trying to construct a single network that contains thousands of objects quickly becomes useless. Why? Because of the lack of granularity. The human eye and brain are limited in how many objects we can make sense of in a highly interconnected and complex graph. We need to use other techniques, like clustering, to simplify the view before we can visually analyze it. This slide reminds us of the challenge on the previous slide. When a network has thousands of objects, it becomes visually overwhelming. Trying to manually analyze a massive social network like this would be both impractical and highly prone to error. We need automated help. To solve the problem of overwhelming data, we use an application of text analytics called clustering documents by topic. This technique automatically groups similar documents together based on their content, making it vastly easier to navigate huge datasets. For example, if you feed it a large archive of news articles, it can sort them instantly into groups like politics, sports, or technology. This brings us to a specific, highly popular approach for topic clustering: latent Dirichlet allocation, or LDA. LDA is a powerful probabilistic generative model used often in network analysis for documents. While we won't go into the math right now, understand that it's the engine behind identifying those underlying topics. This slide is a great link to a visualization tool for topic modeling using PyLDA. Visualizing these topics is key to making sense of the data. For anyone keen on the mathematical side of this, be warned. The math behind LDA is complex, involving probability distributions and Bayesian inference. But it's a fascinating area to explore. To reiterate, latent Dirichlet allocation, LDA, is a popular approach in network analysis for documents. It's a powerful probabilistic generative model. You can see the links here for self-reading, including a great research paper by Alatar and Shalin. The key is that LDA can help identify recurring themes. For instance, pulling out topics from thousands of customer reviews. We title this slide "The Math Inside LDA," but rest assured, we won't get bogged down in the complex details today. However, if you are mathematically inclined and want to understand the deep mechanics of this machine learning model, this is your sign to explore those online resources and textbooks. That concludes our deep dive into link analysis and text mining in EInvestigations. We've covered how these two techniques are fundamentally changing how we find evidence, from mapping complex networks of associations to extracting key insights from millions of documents. Remember the core takeaway: text analytics lays the groundwork, and link analysis shows the connections. Keep practicing those key terms, and I look forward to seeing you in our next session, where we will build on these powerful concepts. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.